everybody, welcome back to Fabulous Autism Mommy. So today we're going to do our early intervention part 2, the evaluation and assessment process, my Cliff's Notes, if you will. If you want to know more about it, stay tuned. So first, before we start, I just want to say congratulations for taking this next step and getting help for your child. Sometimes this process can be a little scary for some. You know, some of us have been around kids and just know when there's a delay. Some of us haven't been around kids a lot, and you know, this might be news to you. So wherever you are in the process, whether you know there's something going on, whether somebody said something to you and you're looking up this video to find out what it means to have an evaluation or assessment done, or whether you're curious and you want to know more about it, I just want to say your children will thank you from the bottom of their hearts in their future, and you're doing nothing but the best that you can do for them. So let's have a little happy dance, why don't we? Way to go, parents. Yahoo! Okay. We're going to stop it now because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so let's just jump right in after a little happy dance for getting to the next step. And the next step is getting an evaluation and assessment done. So if you've already called your early intervention center and asked for a evaluation and assessment, or the doctor referred you, whatever the case, you will get a service coordinator assigned to you. They will contact you and over the phone and let you know that they're going to be setting up a date for you, a date and time. If you've called the early intervention center or have been referred and you haven't heard from them, I'd say like a week and a half at the most after you called them or you were referred, I would call the early intervention center and let them know that on May 1st I went to go see my doctor, and he said he was sending me over to you. He was going to send in a referral. And I haven't heard from somebody. Can I talk to somebody about getting an assessment date? Or, you know, you called yourself and you have that date. I called on May 1st and I haven't heard. Proactive. Be proactive. Don't wait. And don't be too aggressive though. So I wouldn't call and start yelling at people. I would just say, hey, you know, I'm not sure what happened, but I called and I haven't heard back. So you will get a service coordinator to call you. A service coordinator will call you and set up a date and time for the assessment. I got a letter in the mail saying that my son is being referred to our early intervention center. So I got that letter saying that they're aware that there's a referral for him. And I also got another letter stating the date and time and location of my appointment, which it was going to be here at my house. And who was going to be there. So it was a service coordinator, and because my son had a speech issue, a speech therapist was coming along with the service coordinator. Now, if your son has a different, son or daughter has a different delay, maybe like if it was like a motor delay, then you'd see an occupational therapist. If it was a hearing issue, I'm not really sure who would come over, but it just depends on the discussion that you have with the service coordinator at the very beginning. That will determine who's going to come. They'll have a better idea of who they need to bring. So I hope that makes sense. So once you get your letter with your date and time, then you know when you're going to have them. I have a video of tips for a successful evaluation and assessment, so I'll link it down below. Okay. So they're going to come over and they're going to observe your child. They're going to bring toys, whatever tools they need to do some testing. For example, if it's an occupational therapist coming over, sometimes they bring like a balance beam. to see how well the child can balance on or walk or whatever. That's just an example. If you have a specific question or need a specific have something else that I'm not talking about, please leave it down below. Anyhow, so they're going to come over, observe your child, do some testing, ask you a ton of questions. So be prepared for that. And usually, well, for my evaluation, by the end of the evaluation, they knew how much my son was delayed. And so we started writing up the IFSP, which is the Individual Family Service Plan. And I'll make a separate video on that. If you have any, if the service coordinator sees that there's any other issues or any further testing that needs to be done, then they will let you know and they will make an appointment for you. So for example, my son, she saw early signs of autism for my son. So she said, I'm going to make an appointment to have him see a psychiatrist. Yes, psychiatrist, to rule out autism. So that was kind of the next step for us. And she also said, there's definitely speech delay, so I'm going to set you up with a speech therapist and an early infant specialist to come over. So they kind of just tell you what the results were of the meeting, and they tell you kind of what the next steps are going to be. Now, this whole thing is free. You don't have to pay for any of it. The great thing about going through the early intervention centers is that all the assessments are paid for. You don't have to pay for anything for yourself. So had I taken Eli to a psychiatrist on my own, I would have had to pay for that. When in reality, these services for kiddos that need help are available to all parents regardless of income. Now, speaking of income, so any service that is any actual like therapy or service kind of like that, that didn't make any sense. Any treatment, there you go, any treatment that is going to be in place after the assessment and evaluations, that will be a different discussion that you will have with your service coordinator. So depending on your state, I'm not sure what it is their requirements are, but here in California, there's like an income, I'd say sliding scale, I guess, or maybe like brackets. I don't know, like if your family size is this and you make under this amount, then you don't have to pay for any of it. So you'll have that discussion with your service coordinator at that time. Let's see. And I think that's pretty much it. It's a very intense day. It could be. I'm not going to say it is. It could be an intense day where there's going to be a lot of information. So if at any point you feel like, you know what, can we take a break? Please do that. Just ask for a break. Just, say, hi, I mentally need a break from all of this. Can we just take a quick break? They're very understanding and very accommodating, and just, they know the nature of their jobs. So they're dealing with people, and, people handle news differently. So just communicate and let them know how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And also remember that the service coordinators and the therapists, they're humans too. So, treat them with kindness and respect, and know that they have your child's best interest. So that's all for today, guys. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, any concerns, let me know down below, and I will do my best to address it. Have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.